What up, peeps? Been pretty busy lately. Also, I got sick. Uh, my throat is killing me. So, I'm a few days behind. I really enjoyed that chat with Gorilla. That was good times. Telling you, man, there's not a day that goes by that I don't use ETH Koth and PvP or whatever. I mean, he's pretty much in there. So I did reach 70. Nothing really special happened. You know, you have access to some of the level 70 drops in the challenges, which are pretty nice. Especially the one for the purple mats. Boop. Yesterday I completely forgot about PvP. It's because the dog peed on the floor. And that took all my thoughts away. All I could think about was cleaning up that pee on the floor. I know. Really frustrating. Son of a bitch. Nothing angers me more. You have to Grizzle. He's pretty hard, and I don't know what's going to happen here, but if his Poe goes first, we could have a problem. Yeah, we're going to have a problem. Not terrible yet, but starting to be. Okay. This is a damn problem. A really big problem. The question is, how much will I get to do here? Probably nothing. Well, that was kind of lucky. But I still think we're in trouble. Looks like we may get out of here alive. Boop. We won. I mean, there's ETH Koth right there. He's rocking and rolling, doing what he's got to do to survive. Now, these guys are like 1k power level above me, and that's this right here. I mean, that is just a son of a bitch to farm. It's not enjoyable at all. So, yeah, and my crystals went down a little bit. I did buy a pack. I was hoping for Poggle, but that was stupid. Because, of course, you're not going to get what you want. Naturally. So we're going to send Guerrilla Games to rehab. He needs Galactic War rehab. We got to keep him in that. I mean, for free-to-play players, that's going to be... I mean, for anybody. It's so important that you keep up on those, that you keep doing them. You know, I know it's challenging. It can be very frustrating. But just keep going, because, you know, eventually you'll find your groove. And then you'll be good to go. I mean, yes. And I'm not going to deny that with my count and the way things were, if you took away Qui-Gon Jinn and you took away First Order TIE Pilot, I would probably have a tough time. You know? They don't last till the end, obviously. They don't survive that long, but you know, they are critical in taking advantage, especially in the early games. Still think Luminara's pretty important. Now, as you see, this is where I like the game to be because I like to have a stopping point. I like to have a number that's 70. Now I'm done. Now I have money building again. And when you have money building again, you know, you can start to max out some characters. You see, I've done Poe. I don't know what that noise was. But, you know, I got Poe 70 and I'm gonna be able to 70 Luminara. You know, the thing is, a lot of these guys are just, they're asking for so much gear, it's ridiculous. And we'll talk more about where I'm going, what I'm planning on. Obviously, big patch notes coming out. They're not out yet. We're still waiting to hear what the hell's going on. You know, your guess is as good as mine. When they say 8 pages, I mean, I'm inspired by that. I mean, that's awesome. You know, that's really my main complaint. If that's the case, you know, you may be hearing me sing praises about the dev team because you know that's what it needed. I didn't care how long it took. I kind of wanted to know, hey, this is going on. But that's what I've been saying all along. They need a lot of different changes here. So My bad. I had to cut out video a little bit. I was just about to hack up. I told you my throat isn't. You can probably hear it in my voice. Sorry about that. Oh. Sometimes I don't prioritize the annoying targets. Sometimes the annoying targets teach me not to go after them. I don't know. Like Daka reviving almost immediately afterwards. It's like, I'd rather just die at the end and try to heal once. Oh, damn. Counter time. Now it's over. Cool. Is this good for my sore throat? Probably not. But it is what it is. Oh. Yeah, I'm curious soon you'll play Heroes of the Storm. I play that as well. I have many games in that. Used to play League of Legends, things like that. Had a major patch as well. Freaking ruined Nova. But in regards to Galaxy Heroes, I mean, I am just kind of on the edge of my seat. I am just wondering what the heck they're going to decide to do about what. You saw that hit was pretty fair for a crit from Heathcoff. He's not like some dumpy hero that can't do damage. He's not that. I mean, his auto is very satisfying, in my opinion. You know, I don't want anybody to go full on Steam Heathcoff right before this update. If you have been, I don't think you're going to be disappointed because listen, is it not all about when Gorilla and I were playing, which I'll get that video uploaded as soon as I fix it. You know, I don't know if you saw in the video, but like I deleted that by accident. But I did recover it. And I need to overlay his audio onto my video so you can see kind of what I was doing and then hear our conversations. It'll be the exact same audio as his. But one thing is I do have a deep roster, relatively deep. Granted, now I only have 5 heroes that are 70, but then I have quite a few that are 60 and purpled. And that deep roster does help you, like I call my JV squad out. See, these teams right here, man. Something about this Luminara is just, she'll drive you mad. I'm gonna go ahead and kill her. That Luminara leader is just, yeah, she is not playing around. She is really, really evasive. That can really get you. But yes, I have a deep roster. So if you have Heathcoff and, you know, this patch comes out and it has all these great characters, don't worry about it. They like, Elon told me to get this and then blah. Well, you're going to be okay either way. And I'll tell you why. There are a couple reasons why Heathcoff is really, really good, in my opinion. Okay? One is he does have a very fair amount of health. Okay? That we know. He's got a pretty decent health pool. Okay? One of the important things that you'll find when you're working on characters is how difficult, how easy are they to gear. That's very important because if they're very challenging to gear, if they take a lot of time and effort, they're going to be really frustrating and they're not going to get up to speed quite as fast as you're going to want them to. In Heathcoff's case, oh my gosh, you were talking about one of the easiest guys in the game to gear up. And that's why Geonosian Soldier is another really good guy, because he's just get him, get him on your roster. That'll be 1 and 2 characters right there that you can just throw in the mix. And you see, I'm rolling through here. Yes, I have Qui-Gon. That does help Koth. That does help Luminara to move faster. You're going to have to develop a different strategy. You may have to involve Poe. Hopefully you have a higher star Poe than I do. My 5-star Poe is like a 1-round deal. If I have a tough round, he's like my get-through character. Some of these other guys are like mainstays. They need to stay in the fight for as long as possible. Maybe we can kill Sidious right here. Nope. Well, we tried. Dang. That sucks. Not liking where this is going. Shouldn't have gone after him like that. You know who I think I'm going to go after? I'm thinking Kylo Ren. You know, I don't beat him down enough. He's really easy to kill. He's pretty damn slow. And you know what? He does a fair amount of damage. So we're just going to kill him right off the bat. Yeah. That's cool. At least that's 1 AoE down. Now we're going to pop Sidious and maybe she'll heal. Yeah, that's good. That's what we wanted. Okay, but we kind of need to kill him now because he's going to come back around. Turn 3 and kill us. Now we need to kill Luminara. Cool. Shitty. Man. If they can survive, then we'll let this play out and we'll lose Koth. Good. It kind of worked out to my advantage, honestly. Oh, shit. Not exactly the way I wanted it to go, but we're pretty late in the game here, and we have Poe to kind of fall back on if we need to pop a heal, so. And her heal is up. We got 4 rounds. And it just gets easier when you're 70 because you have 70s. You know, it's... The gear is very important too, though, as you guys already know. So, that's going to be one thing to take care of. Okay, good. Yeah, that was good. See that expose how that works so well? That's just potent. Go ahead and kill him. Alright, and we're clear. We're in a really good position, and we're gonna easily wipe out these last 2. The last 3, sorry. Go ahead and play another PvP. We'll see how we're faring against Scythus now that I'm up in the big dog zone. So, now you see that I run Jedi Leader, 55 defense. Questionable for sure. Definitely a questionable thing to do. But from what I can tell, it is working. Maybe not as well as some people think it should, but it's working. I'm going to go ahead before I have enough to upgrade some of these, but before I do, and this is a sad fact of the matter, but you guys may want to look on SWGOHDB before you ever raise a skill, because they've done data mining, so they know if a skill is not increasing, and if it's not increasing, it could be a tragedy. Since he has only 2 skills, I do feel motivated to level his up pretty quick. Like, for instance, this gun down, if you level this up, it will ruin that skill. It'll take it down to hit lower than he did when it was level 1. Like, so low, you've never even seen damage that low before. It's crazy. Alright, so we still got 10 up. We can do one other person. I don't see any that I like on there. That's offense up +1 duration. That's not gonna do anything for me. And I don't want to waste anything on Poe right now, so we're just gonna stay as is, and we're gonna try to see what happens here with Scythus. It's a Poe roll, and it looks like he's in front. Nope. Alright, that's good. How do we want to deal with this? How you handle this is so important. I mean, it can make or break with Scythus. You gotta... See, that's just unlucky. Oh, damn it. Alright, we are going offense up this time. We're gonna pound him. Alright. Oh shit, I should not have done this. We may be okay. Will Eathcoth go first? That's the question of the day. Yep. Alright. Solid. And we got him. R2. Yeah, you know, sometimes I was kind of hoping that the stun would one-hit him. I wasn't sure how that 5% increased damage was. As you can see, it's a pretty fair blast from that stun, and I find that skill to be more useful than Luminar's ability block. Real quick, we'll look at the game. I don't know why I'm sitting there thinking to look it up. Off the top of my head, see, her potency is 0. You know? Just remember that. That Force Blast skill. Okay. Wow. Interruptions galore. We are good. So, let's continue on. And I am honestly on the verge of getting excited. Right? I'm like possibly capable of getting excited. Because this news that there's 8 pages of patch notes, single spaced, I mean, like, I have to hand it to them. If that is the case, and that is what's about to happen, and, I mean, it wouldn't hurt if there were some changes that would specifically benefit me. But also all of us. I mean, I'm just hoping that, things like Plo Koon are on the table, like all that stuff. And, obviously we can't predict exactly what is going to happen, what's going to change. We're just going to have to wait and see. But I'm just extremely hopeful that they've kind of heard our cries and that, things are going to turn around for us. But things may be turning around for me here in this Galactic War. Oh, get owned. Alright. That was alright. Let's get him killed. Deal. Yeah. Alright. Oh. Alright. Keep on rolling, baby. That worked out really too well. I mean, this game is showing me love again. But, there were times where I said, hey, like, this is going to be okay. CG's going to do the right thing, There are times where I've been really down about, this, that, blah, 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 blah. It all really depends on what happens next, what they decide to do. They could really, really improve the game uh, they could make some really good decisions. I'm hoping it's not just added characters. I mean, I really want them to go back, look over characters, and start fixing and improving and upgrading because that's going to make such a great impact on all levels of the game. We're going to I think we all hoped when we first started playing that it was going to be like that. There are a lot of choices out there. We're going to get to play around with what we want. There's going to be a lot of viability. I'm hoping we get that for sure. And we're just going to have to see what happens. But I'm hopeful, and we're just going to have to kind of play it by ear and just wait and see. So obviously either today or tomorrow, and I will try not to be so disappointed. I'm not building it up for myself. You know, obviously there's room to hope, but you know, I have been disappointed before. So you just kind of got to play it by ear and just we'll see what happens. But it's good news either way because 8 pages of patch notes. This game certainly needed it. That's exactly what it did need. What they'll cover, I'm not going to be bitching if they fix a lot of stuff, even stuff I don't have. If they neglect Poe and Plo and things like that, you know, I'm going to be accepting. Because overall, the demonstration of effort to me is way more important. Obviously, they've been very involved here in trying to improve the game. So it's great news for all of us. So I am just getting so stopped up. I'm just not feeling that well today. Well, this was a pretty easy GW. You know, I wonder, because yesterday I was rank 12. I saw somebody post, I'm not really a Jedi or whatever. He's a dev. He was on Reddit kind of explaining how GW's picked. It's pretty interesting, actually. You know, definitely curious if he's telling us, you know, accurately how it works because from what they said, it involves your arena rank and your top 5 most powerful characters. So, and yesterday I was in rank 12 because I didn't finish. Thanks for the Lumi Crystal, appreciate it. And we're gonna restart. So, now I'll tell you, guys. I have been pretty. Well, I can show you. These are how many Galactic Wars I have beaten. 63 of them. I've only been playing since November. So Gorilla was asking how many of these I've beat, how many I've lost. That should give you an idea. If I've only been playing for 2 full months then I've only lost 5, maybe. I never really used and a lot of people called me on it, I never used to use the old retreat option. I used the force close method. People said that was exploiting. Now that's the only thing you can do. And I believe I said this when we were on calls, like, if I'm going to reset it a million times until I get the result I want. Because I felt that Galactic War was the most important part of the game because that's the part that allows you to have more characters to level up a bunch of different options. So 63 times 15 shards, you know, that's over 2 full characters. 330 shards, that's buying them and everything involved. So telling you, man. I mean, obviously he's not the dirtiest of dirtiest Landos out there, but I'm telling you, I'm not upset about Eathcoth. There have been a lot of disappointments in this game. Thank God he's not one of them. And that was at the time not very popular for me to pick it up. I know some of you guys, there were definitely some of you out there who were really blazing new paths, and I respect you. Way to go. but don't be like my Plo Koon, you know? Be careful. Pull it back a little bit. But, yeah, I'm not at all disappointed with him. And that's definitely uplifting. So you see, we have a lot of... I mean, honestly, I can't use him at this point. I've got no choices left. Resistance Pilot is done. IG-86 is... He needs 280 shards. He's got to max out. He's got 160. He could be a 6-star in 4 sets of this. So potentially he could be a 6-star. Poggle has 250 shards waiting. He could be 6 stars if I got his card. If not, I have to kind of circle back and work on him. Tusken Raider, I have very few in, actually. Dathcha, I feel I have a few in. Tebow could be 6-star almost right now. Biggs only needs 100. Initiate, I mean, we're talking about pretty much done here. Luminara's done. Poggle's done. Resistance Pilot's done. IG-88 needs 100 shards. Tusken Raider probably needs the most. Initiate doesn't need that many. Phasma's completely done. Tebow has a ton. We're talking like 250 or something. And Biggs Darklighter is 6-star and kind of lost interest in that. Problem is, too, is a lot of these niche characters, you're like, well, they're not going to be too bad. But I'm telling you guys, this gear situation is going to get more and more difficult. Very, very expensive stuff. I burned 200 energy yesterday and got none of my shackles that I needed for Geonosian Soldier. I mean, it's a little... It can hurt your spirit, man, to keep doing some of this. I mean, really, sometimes you do feel like, okay, I'm just gonna give up on this. Yeah, I wanted to kill him. I didn't want him to get advantage. I wanted to headshot him too. All according to plan. Man, Guerrilla Games, I love him, man. He's just a great guy. It was really fun to talk to him. You know, we share a common interest, so it's always fun strategizing about stuff. You know, he's one of your best free-to-play out there, and he's stuck to it. And, you know, he's just an all-around good guy that's definitely got a lot of information to provide for all of you trying to get into it and those of you keeping up with it. And that's kind of what it is. It's, you know, curating all the information that, you know, we're all kind of out there. Some of us have more time, some of us have less time. I don't have, you know, an unlimited amount of time, but I try to keep up with Reddit. I'm not very active there. Plus I thought they were kind of a douchey crowd. You know, it was. And I don't really keep up, you know, as far as communicating on there. Certainly not on the forums. Same situation. Very toxic. I gave up there too. I follow those. I like my line chats and my communities that I have. Those are the places where I really keep up. I pop on Guerrilla Games Discord sometimes and talk. And you know, those are just... It's nice to get separated from some of the more toxic communities and get out there to where, you know, people are just being normal human beings and not like rabid dogs. So that's usually where I keep up and I actually go back and forth. But I do curate a lot of the information that I receive from all over the net. Early on, I'm telling you, and still to this day, SWGOH Cantina is just a huge resource. It is so useful. The guys did not have to release that information. They could have used it privately. They didn't. They provided a service. SWGOHDB, that's an upcoming site. It's very useful. I mean, you've got to be grateful for all the resources you have out there. And the reason why it's so important is because of the dubious nature of this game. All the things that you read Most of them cannot be trusted. You have to be so careful when you're listening. I'm telling you, I've watched the forums for quite a while. It's the blind leading the blind out there. You don't want to trust them. They will lead you astray. Sometimes it's okay to take your own path and to try your own stuff. But you always want to try to be educated about what you're doing and have a plan. And you need to make sure that that plan is not flawed in some major way. For instance, I know I was not the only person who foresaw the Han Solo Akbar combo, but there was just so much information that I was neglecting, so many different aspects that I just was not seeing, and to fall behind in things like that, it hurts in a lot of different ways. You lose credits, you lose material, you lose shards, you go the wrong path. And for a free-to-play player, it hurts. For a pay-to-play player, I'm telling you, it hurts. People have deep pockets. It's just like a car. You go out and you buy a Lamborghini. Somebody's going to have more money than you. And they're going to buy a better Lamborghini. They're going to buy a Bugatti. They're going to buy a Veyron. Like, they are going to beat you. Some of them, you'll be out there in like a 370Z and you'll put in a twin turbo and you'll think you're the baddest ass person. And then you'll find some really wealthy guy who did it all. And, he may have different reasons for it. Some of them may want to just be the biggest, baddest. Maybe some of them want to shut down people like you, like, say, kind of throw their money around. You don't know people's motivation. Sometimes it's just for fun, and you can't hate on that. That's their passion, that's what they enjoy, so that's what they've done. So you can't be frustrated about things like that. But what I'm saying is, accept what you can get. Be happy with what you can do, and just, if you play smart and you play right and you keep up with people, I feel like you're going to achieve what you want to achieve. You just have to kind of keep at it, and dedication, perseverance. I mean, watch that movie Rudy, and, he only got to play one game, but he got a sack, man. Man, you've got to kind of persevere sometimes. Don't, really, for me, one thing is, and I don't do this too much, but it's something I'm very cautious of, is looking at people. Sometimes I can get frustrated by a team or by this or by that. There have been a lot of times like that. I never got jealous. Don't get jealous. Don't get like, oh man, they just have this or they're so ahead. There were times where, like with the Poe thing, where I started to feel like, oh, I'm in a deep dark hole. I'll never be able to catch up to these guys. Now I'm pretty much screwed. When we were level 50, and people were jumping up to 60 so fast, and I knew what that would take. You get really dismayed, just like, oh, I can't do anything. I lost. Don't be so defeated. I catch myself in that too. Things aren't so bad. You just have to keep playing, and you have to keep kind of striving to do better. And I'm telling you, the more you know, knowledge is power, and that can really help you out. So, this was kind of thoughtless on my part. Okay, it's kind of working out in our favor. She can't hit for shit. I'm a little concerned about him, but he's dead now, so trying to do as little damage as possible. Good stuff. Yeah, don't feel defeated in this game. Because the reality is that if you play long enough and you sit by the river long enough, the corpses of your enemies will float by. You just have to be patient and sit by that river. So, that's kind of what I do. Obviously, I spend crystals on a day-to-day basis, especially when we were going from 60 to 70. But I didn't spend anything above like 100 buy-in. I would rarely spend 200. So that means, and for me, you guys say, well, you got all these crystals, blah, 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 blah. I haven't put money in since. That crystals have been sitting there, and yes, it's been diminishing a little bit, but I try not to go over my my daily income of what I'm getting. And I'm going to get back into that where I start to really kind of balance the spreadsheet, because I don't want to, I have no intention of spending any more money for any foreseeable reason. I'm pretty much spent at this point, and I do have a lot of credits out there kind of waiting to be used on packs and stuff like that when the new patch comes out. So I'm not in a big need for any particular thing, but I plan on getting back to where, I just stay on top of the leaderboards as best I can. If I have to spend a couple crystals to stay in there, I will. And I'll just try to balance my spreadsheet and make sure that, you know, my profit is good. Because you can get a couple of you can buy packs. I mean, there was times where I wasn't spending any money. I was just ranking in first, and I was buying 8x packs every, probably took about a week to get one of those, or at least almost 2 weeks, because you still spend the 200 a day, probably 50, 50, and 100. So you get 300 per day. That's about 2,100 in a week if you're being really careful and budgeting. That's at rank 1. Now, if you're thinking, well, I should just spend money, I'm sure a lot of people it's crossed their mind, I'll just spend a lot of money and I'll make 500 crystals. That'll save me money in the long run, or some shit like that. Like, however, I know I'm dumb too. I thought of the same thing. Pause. Look at that team. Now that's pretty cool. They're using Asajj's speed buff. Pretty sick team. Pretty cool, honestly. Something I definitely wanted to do. But this game just teaches you don't do that, basically. See, one thing that's nice about this whole team I've got right here is that this team, no matter who I call in an assist on, there's going to be a lot of damage coming their way. I mean, no matter who was called into that assist, I felt confident that person was going to die. Yeah. I mean, I knew they were in pretty much freaking trouble. So, yeah, but if you think you're going to spend money to stay in rank 1, first off, it is pretty challenging to stay at rank 1. I'm just telling you, it's probably best if you don't do that. How much money does it cost? It costs a lot. And then remember, too, that you really do lose your advantage. When everybody catches up to 70, what makes you better than somebody else? Like, you have to spend a lot of money to maybe grind those 50 things, but somebody's going to get the shackles eventually. Somebody's going to get this. Somebody's going to get that. Plus, it doesn't take the best team comp to beat the best team comp. It takes a certain strategized comp to make it work, to make you kill somebody. So, don't do it. Just don't freaking do it. Hopefully it won't pull in Qui-Gon. But it did. It's just an unlucky thing. We want to do this a little bit differently. Definitely. Oh, so, again, I say Ithkoth, cheap to gear, really strong. Definitely somebody you want on your team. No lie. Damn, that wasn't good for us. Hmm. Damn it. This is a problem. I don't remember how far we are in. I didn't really look. We're deep, yeah. But I don't want to lose my main squad here, so... And I do want Luminar to be working down her heals again and getting those ready for the next fight. So I want to keep her in. It's not like, oh, Luminar's better than Eth Koth. That's not really the strategy here. Nice. Now that could be a one hit. So close. Yet so far. No good, she didn't heal. She dumb. Didn't expect him to do that, but I kind of wanted to pop a shot at him. I do forget sometimes to calculate Palpatine's heal in there. Sometimes I might not have done what I did knowing that, but it works out. I'm really not feeling good. Oh. I'm not a big believer in Savage Opress. Plus, I just hated that guy in the series. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? This is dumb. Like, I don't need like a Darth Maul ripoff, like off-brand Darth Maul for me. Like, I'm good on that. Interesting. So much for Jedi Consular, right? We have no improved gear on him. What we do have to still consider is the improvements on his skills. You know, and I don't know what all that means for him because I haven't taken him up to skill 7, but some of his stuff could be skill 7. And obviously he has level gains from 60 to 70. So I haven't seen too many people. I'm gonna level him up to 70. I'm gonna tweak him out. You might as well, just because. But he's kind of fallen off the wagon a little bit, and that's kind of disappointing. This is second to last. Not super happy with Geonosian Soldier's health. Man, a lot of ugly targets. Darkseid is pretty strong. That's what we need. I'm really surprised GS held on like he did there. I mean, he's the man. That was pretty tough guy stuff. I feel that we can beat the next team with JV, possibly. Damn, that didn't hit for anything. We're gonna kill him. Yeah, we're gonna do that. 1 star. I think it'd be nice to get Tiny Grimes involved. I know that a lot of you guys commented on that, and that would be nice. Sometimes it's hard to reach out to Tiny. He can be elusive. But, I always said that I think that we all kind of cover the grounds of the whole SWG experience. I do have the pay-to-play side, and I'm not the biggest spender out there, so it's not like some form of like personal pride that I say that. Believe me, but it is true. I'm up there with people who've spent some cash flow. And also, Tiny and Gorilla cover the free-to-play really well. And they, have obviously been there, done that, and developed a lot of good strategies for, how to best themselves. And so, it's 2 different kinds of experience. I think that we can all benefit because some free-to-play builds have come out and they've just been so strong. Things that maybe we ignored because we're like, that's not the nastiest, most rarest combo, and it's very accessible, and then it ends up being very, very potent. And at the same time, pay-to-play players, sometimes they have sick fancies and like to try out a bunch of random stuff, and you get some information on maybe things you otherwise might not have known about. So, now I will tell you guys up here at Squad Cantina Battles, right now, I'm working on Count Dooku. Now, depending on where you're at, it can go either way, but do not neglect Barriss Offee. Mark my words, she will be important. She is going to come back with a vengeance. Her leadership skill is too good. Way too good. Her unique is way too good. Her heal is fairly strong. And her invigorating strike has, for a tanky team, it can do some work in there. She should definitely be 7-starred. That's just me, just speaking out, but I'm telling you, I'm calling that. I'm going for Rey. I did unlock her card. You guys can say what you want. Oh, pay to play, but I have not been opening packs. I got her card and her card alone. And I have been working. If I get 150 right there, I'll be 6-star Rey. And that'll be pretty good. That'll be viable enough to whip out in a team comp 70, fully geared, still working towards 7-star, but she'll be good enough to pull out and just one-hit somebody, and that'll maybe help you when things get crazy and you're trying to climb the ladders and you can't. We may be hearing some good news about Plo Koon. I mean, I'm obviously, excited to hear 8 pages of patch notes. It's hard for me to believe that Plo Koon gets completely neglected. There have been posts. It is known. Ahsoka Tano, Asajj, they could all benefit their characters from the speed. Stormtrooper Han might get something. So I'm going to be sitting okay. I'm still working on Akbar. And I guess I should go ahead and buy one of his shards. We could purple gear him now. I don't know if I want to. I mean, it could be a trap. But that'll push him up into another speed category, so don't know if I want to quite do that yet. Kind of want to work on the guys I already have. Luminara should probably be 70'd. And she does have 2 more pieces of gear that she could use. One I'm never going to do because I don't think 25 agility is worth it. But that piece, that I will definitely be throwing on her. She could end up being pretty useful. The problem is, for right now, my squad's pretty full. I actually don't want to rotate out Eathcoff. I'm telling you, I really like him. 11k health, 128 speed, physical damage, all that crap doesn't really make a damn bit of difference. You know those numbers don't really matter. It's what you see on the board. He's got pretty fair tenacity. His potency is really strong. And he's a lot of fun to play, and he was easy to gear up. I don't see me rotating him out anytime soon, so. Anyways, I'm going to merge the 2 videos, and I'll catch back with you later. I just put up the Guerrilla Raves one, so hopefully y'all enjoy. Later.